Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. My name is Bettina and I usually do watercolors and doodles on this channel. And occasionally I get to try out new art materials. So after having worked a lot with watercolors, I decided I needed a little bit of a break, and this came at a great time. So they kindly sent me over their 36 acrylic marker set, and I also received a sketchbook by them. This is oh, that's nice. The exposed binding is a special design for easy laying flat during painting. You can paint on both sides of the paper. I like that. I have a hard time when things don't lie flat. I think this is multimedia paper, so it'll be interesting to see if those markers bleed through these pages. I like this. Look how flat this lies. That is very cool. And here I thought I was just gonna get a plain old sketchbook. Well, okay. I have never worked with acrylic markers like this. I know the Copic ones, but I've heard good things about these, and so I said, you know what? Let me try them out. Look how beautiful these colors are. There's so many different colors in here. All right, I am excited to get started. It says, shake well, open cap, start using, recap tightly after use. Okay, so you have to shake them every time you use them, which is what you have to do with other acrylic markers as well. So I'm gonna get shaken and then we'll be back for the swatching, okay? All right. I hope I shook them enough. The paper feels nice. It's definitely a lot thinner than watercolor paper. So I'll be curious to see how watercolor is holding up on this kind of paper. So it has a brush tip, which is what I'm very excited about. It says brush tip over there, and it's got color numbers on here. So I'm not gonna start with the white because it's always so disappointing because you can't see the color. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna move these guys over here. Also, how cute are these little flowers? Isn't that adorable? Anyway. I'm wondering if I should go this way. We'll go this way. And I'm gonna zoom you guys in a little bit. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put down a black line. Just for the white. All right, this is, they don't have any names. They only have numbers. T105, which is a very light yellow. Oh my God, so buttery. And then this is T112. Dude, those are fun. T123. Huh. T144. I like that these have brush tips. That's a fun color. I'm getting smaller and smaller. Here, let's make it a little bit bigger. I feel like this one needs a little squiggly line as well. Then next up is T229. And then T258. Now we're going into the reds. Whoa. Yay! I'm not going to show you the back side yet. We're going to fill this page and then I'll show you. They're so nice. Pink, baby pink. Oh, that's pretty too. I forgot to say the colors, but you know, I mean, it doesn't tell you much other than the number. I got a little excited. Okay, now we're getting into the purples. This is a lilac. And then a purple. And then blue. So you only get like two kind of purplies. I have no idea what we're gonna make today. I like this blue. It's very nice. All right, so this was the first half and now I have to shake the rest of it. So I will be right back. Okay, my arms are about to fall off, but that's okay. All right, let's try the white. That's the first pass. Not that I'm expecting them to cover fully. Let me see. Huh. I like a good white, so I'm excited about that one. But now let's continue with the blues. I feel that the brush tips, you just have so much more variety. You can go fine, and when you push harder, you get a thicker line. I really like that about brush pens, or brush tips, I should say. These are fun. Look, I'm getting smaller and smaller, but I want all those colors to fit on this page. Cute baby blue. I think we can fit them all. Ooh, I love this one. And you know, sometimes when you go over acrylic markers, it lifts the color. It'll be interesting to see how they behave. I have a feeling they won't do that. Kind of an ochre. Let's make it a little bigger. And this is kind of a, almost looks blush, but we'll see. That's pretty too. Now we're getting into the grays. Surprisingly, there's 4 grays in here. Nice. I like that one. Last one is the black. Whoa. Very cool. It's a shame you can't refill them. So once they're gone, they're gone. That's a bit of a bummer. But then again, super coverage and fun colors. Now the question is, did they bleed through the next page? They did not. I've got some black on my finger and I just smudged it. It didn't. You can see it a little bit because it was, you know, the paper is relatively thin and there is, you know, it wasn't quite dry yet, but it doesn't bleed through, so that's cool. I ended up not liking what I came up with here, and that's why I'm speeding through the footage a little bit. But I wanted to show it anyway because it shows really well what these markers look like when you paint with them on a slightly bigger surface. They do look a little bit streaky. And I did try and go over certain colors a little bit again after everything had dried, and they were a little bit better, but I wasn't keen on wasting too much time on that. The black worked incredible, and you'll see that later on. But I'm sure that for most people, the streakiness won't be a super big deal. And then I wanted to test to see if my fine liner pens would work on top. Sometimes in the past, like I said, I don't really know what I'm talking about when it comes to acrylic paint or acrylic markers, because I very, very rarely use them, but I have used them in the past, and sometimes the marker has a little bit of a harder time because acrylic paint is a lot more slick. It just feels different than when you draw over watercolor paint. So I wanted to try that out, and it worked really, really well. Later on, I also tried using colored pencils on top, and that worked really well also. So for those reasons, I really enjoyed working with these paint markers. They also go on so smooth. It was really a lot of fun using them. The white on top of other colors almost look like chalk paint. I personally love that, but that also means that you won't get full coverage. Like if you look at where I used the white pen, you can see that the color underneath shines through a little bit more, and personally I don't mind that at all, but just so you guys are aware of that. This is where things derailed a little bit. I wanted to give this page an outline, but I really didn't like what happened here. I don't know what happened. Let's just leave it at that. So later on, I went over it again and filled it all in with black. And it was really interesting that none of that black seeped through the other side of the paper. And I am really enjoying this sketchbook. I can see myself really using it in the future for lots more. I am also very, very curious to see how the watercolor will hold up. I also tried reactivating the paint with water, and that didn't quite work as well as I had hoped. If you do it straight away, I think you have a better chance, but if you let it sit just a little bit, even, it's not going to lift up and move around very much anymore. So this is what I came up with, and I think it's fair to say that while there was a lot of good doodling maybe going on, we can move on from that page and not feel sad about it. So as you can see, nothing seeped through the other side, which I thought was quite incredible. You just saw me shake them again, and that was because I took a little bit of a break, trying to figure out what else I could come up with that I would actually enjoy showing to you all. So this is what I decided on doing, and I have to say that I am loving the process already so much better. I think part of the reason also is because I am only using a few of the colors, which helps my brain a little bit more as well. Maybe it was the color combination of the other one that just I wasn't vibing with. I have no idea. I did enjoy the doodling process, but anyway, I said I was going to move on from it, and this is what we're doing. So I am using both sides of this sketchbook, and as you can see, I have no trouble using both of them at the same time. It lies flat as it promised, and it was pure joy to work that way. And so just for that reason alone, I want to keep using it. I have to say though that both of these designs are a fun way to fill a sketchbook. So if sometimes you feel like you don't want to do anything in particular, but you just want to do something fun and be creative in some way, this was a lot of fun. I actually enjoyed the second one a lot better than the first one, but both of them are just fun ways to play around. I don't usually do a lot of these review videos. I feel like my viewers don't come to my channel for that. But if there is something that I am really interested in, or that I feel I could incorporate in future videos, I am more than happy to look at them and give them honest and my opinion only review. So when I do these types of videos, you can be assured that you will always get my opinion on how these things work. I particularly enjoyed it this time around because it was a new medium to me, and it gave me a little bit of a break from my usual watercolor backgrounds, and sometimes that's a good thing. So I highly encourage you trying out different things. I didn't even shake this one. Ooh, yeah, look at that difference. Shake your pens, folks. But let me talk about these pens a little bit more. As you just saw, it really makes a huge difference when you shake the pens. So if you decide to get them for yourself, just make sure that you really do give them a good shake. I liked that they are matte. However, I did feel that the whole design at the end felt a little bit flat, and that's why you later on see me bring in a gold pen just to liven things up a little bit. I love that I can use my fine liner pens over it and that the paint doesn't lift when I use them. In fact, it was incredibly easy to use different markers on top. I always do a little bit of research before I start working with a product, just to see how other people use it. And I did see other people layer and more draw with them, and I saw that it works really well. So whether you are using it to cover a whole area just with one color, or whether you decide to layer the colors a little bit, that is also possible. The gold pen that I was using, I had a little bit of trouble in the beginning to get it to work, but I think it was because I haven't used it in a long time, and so it struggled a little bit in the beginning, but later on it worked just fine. The fact that these pens have a brush tip is a little bit strange, maybe in the beginning, but I can definitely see them being used for calligraphy, for example. The tip is very bouncy and you can make thin lines and thick lines with ease. I am not a calligraphist, but I could definitely see somebody who likes to do calligraphy use these pens for that purpose as well. The paper lifting off as I am taking the tape off was complete user error. Usually I take a hairdryer to it, which helps tremendously. Overall, I was really excited to try these pens out. I really enjoy them. And if you're curious or if you want to purchase them for yourself, there is links down below in the description box for you. And a big thank you to Arrtx for gifting me this pen set and the sketchbook. I really enjoyed playing around with it. I hope you enjoyed today's review video. Thanks for hanging out with me, and please come back this Friday when I have a brand new watercolor and doodle video ready for you. See you then.